Hello everyone, once again my name is Rosedo Orquesta and welcome to Pantasmalaya. In this video, uh, since in the previous video we have talked about an array, how to implement an array variable in computer programming, then we have used a common array which is a just a one dimension array, right? Then today I'm going to give you an example on how we can create a multi-dimensional array. Let's just create a at least two-dimensional array. So basically, a two-dimensional array, if I am going to demonstrate it into a visual representation, here on the screen, if you can see, I have opened an Excel. Okay, this is an Excel. So we declare. Okay, so we declare array, a two-dimensional array, this way. Say for example, the array is an integer. Say int my array. Okay, that is the name of our array variable, and then we, instead of having this one like in the previous example in the previous video, this means that we have declared an integer type array variable named my array with the length of 5. Since the length is 5, it could you can save, or we can save up to 5 values in my array variable. But in multidimensional, you are going to create a matrix. No, it's like we are going to create a matrix. So for example, let's just have a two-dimensional array. So instead of having only one bracket, now we use two brackets for declaration, variable declaration. Okay, so for example, we have 5 and 2. Now this number 5 here is the number of rows, and then this 2 here is the number of columns. So rows, columns. So if we are going to demonstrate that into an in an Excel, so if we want to have a visual representation of this array, my array, it would look like this: 1 2 3 4 5 then 2. Okay, so it will look like this. Now this side here is that uh, yung may 5, and then here is the one we 2. So we have 5 rows, 1 2 3 4 5, and 2 columns, 1 2. So these cells here can be used as storage. See, we put a value here, put a value here, put a value here and here, this one, then say 9 and 10. Or if this is a string or a car array, we could say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and another. Okay, so this is a visual representation of a two-dimensional array. If you're going to use a multi-dimensional array in our computer program, again, this 5 here is the rows, and then this 2 here is the column, and this is the visual representation of it. So how can we address this cell or this cell? So for example, we need to display the A, this one. If we are going to convert this into name, set casta. Okay, Now, say for example, these are the values. Now, we're going to display this here. This is the real name. So what we are going to do is we can have a code in C++ like this: C out, and then say for example first name, and then so the name of this variable is my array. Okay, so we're just going to have the my array here, and then if we count the index, so move this one, let's move this one. Okay, so this is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is index 0 and 1. So now we are going to use these numbers here and these numbers here. So in here we have my array 0 and 0. This will give us a result of uh, first name and then Roseto. This will be the output of that uh, this line of code here. Okay, and then if we want to display the family name, we should say instead of 00 we would say 1. Okay, so ano, this is not 0 because we are trying to display the Rosito. This is 1, sorry for that, and also this is 1. So the first number here, this one here, means row 1. Okay, row 1. What column? 0. So this column here, so this is the intersection of row 1 and column 0. And then on the next line of code, the intersection of row 1 and column 1, so that is orchestra. So the result would be uh, family name orchestra. So I should change this to family name. Okay, so this will be now the outcome. So this is how we address our multi-dimensional array, especially the two-dimensional array. So we have columns here, two columns, 5 rows, two columns, 5 rows. How can we address each cell? We refer to the column and the rows index and the column index. So like this one, we need to display this information, Rosetta Orchestra, so that is why we address the first name to row 1 column 0, and then for the family name we address the row 1 column 1. Now if we're going to have that in our actual programming, still I'm going to use the Turbo C++ compiler. Okay, so in this example, I'm going to use numbers. I'm going to collect ranges. So same, we will implement uh, 5 rows and 2 columns for this one. Okay, and then so now since it is about range, I am going to collect the minimum and the maximum range. So I will use for this example I will use 4. Uh, since I am going to look or to ask the user to input 5 ranges. Okay, so for int I equals to 0, and then I less than 5. Why 5? Because the length of our number of rows we have is 5. So less than 5 up to 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can still remember in my previous video about array, the index will start at 0. So we count from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So less than 5. But the total length is 5. It's just that the index starts from 0. Okay, so I plus plus. Now in here we are going to ask the user to input minimum. I say, and then cn will use the ranges. We'll start with 00, so we're going to use I, because the variable I will be the one to uh, iterate the column, no, the rows. So it will start from row 1, no, row 0. If we talk about indexes, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But for the columns, we only have two. So instead of having a variable to represent it, we can use the actual number. So this is the minimum, and then cout will ask for the maximum. Cn ranges. Now column 0, column 1. So we are going to have 1. Okay. So minimum first column, maximum second column. Therefore 0 and 1. While the I represents the row, it will change while the for loop executes. It starts from 0 up to uh, 4. Then let's just have a separator here, a simple separator. Let line, and then let's have another 4 here. This 4 is for displaying what are the numbers in our array. So cout uh, minimum ranges 0. Now we'll use x for this one. So int x is equal to 0, x less than 5. Yes, because the length is 5. So and the maximum index will be 4. X plus plus. Okay. And then we also display the maximum, but in this one we should have it in the next line, while the maximum should be have it in the in a single tab space. Now ranges, we use the x, the current index of x, and then 1. Let's compile this. If we oh, we have an error, cout. Okay, so this is okay, so therefore we don't have any error now. If I'm going to, no, let's save this first. Okay, so today array.cpp. Okay, let's have that. Then run program. Minimum of 1, maximum of 2, minimum of 3, maximum of 4, minimum of 5, maximum of 6, minimum of 7, maximum of 8, minimum of 9, maximum of 10. Now the display is like this. So we arrange it into an actual rows and columns. So that is a multi-dimensional array. No, it's not just two. We could have say three columns or four columns or five columns, whatever you need, or how many columns you need to input a value. Okay, so we could have, say for example, create a list of names of a person with the address, the contact, and age, and other information. So we could do that in an array, a multi-dimensional array. How many rows, how many columns? You're going to specify it in your declaration. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you have learned something from me about how to create a program using multi-dimensional array, and thank you so much.